Yesterday I went with a friend to an abortion clinic. When she told me her situation, and when I seen how much pain she had in her eyes, I did what any friend would do, and I told her that I'd be there for support. I never realized that going to a place like that would cause me such pain. When we pulled into the parking lot, there were people protesting all along the streets, talking about life. They cared so much for this life that wasn't their own. They cared so much for my friend that they didn't even know her. When we walked into the room, the air was thick and stale. Whenever you walked in, everyone would look up to see who was the next victim. Was it her or I? No one knew. It just as easily could have been me. When we sat down, everybody had this sorrow in their eyes. The room was full and silent. Nobody knew if what they were doing was the right choice. Nobody knew that if they were going to go to heaven or hell because of what they had done. But they knew in their hearts that this was something that they couldn't continue to carry on with. They knew that they couldn't bring this life into existence. There were single women, there were couples, there were young teenagers. Some of the questions in the paperwork my friend had to fill out were horrendous. How do you feel? Happy, sad, ashamed, relieved, excited, joyful, unknown, uneasy, unnervous. As I watched my friend circle ashamed, sad, doubtful, worried, scared, I wondered how many girls didn't care. Some people were walking out of there happy as can be with a smile on their face because the deed was done. They no longer had to worry about these things. When I sat there, I closed my eyes and I prayed. I pulled all the light out of my heart and filled the room. I thought that maybe God brought me there for a reason. Maybe I was here to awaken the light in the women's hearts. Maybe I was there to learn a lesson. I'm 25 years old. No children. I've never even come close to being scared or anything. I've never been on birth control. And I look at my own life and I wonder, why am I so blessed? Why does God love me so much? When I was 16 years old, my biggest fear was that I would end up like my mother, having a child young. Ever since then, I've always prayed every day that I never had to face that path. I'm very thankful for that, because deep down in my heart, I know that I just couldn't be that person to show somebody how to live in this world. I couldn't love somebody unconditionally enough to make every day of their life joyful. I may be 25 years old, but I live life so young. I live life as if I were 18. I feel as if I were 18 again. I don't feel any different. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But to my friend, I'm sure it was even harder. Here she was, this Mexican girl from Mexico. She had her first child with her long-term boyfriend, who beat her up and beat up the baby and then left to Mexico and left them with nothing. And then here she was working at a gas station, trying her best to raise a 5-year-old, and then pregnant by another Mexican who was about to bail on her. Who was I to judge? Who was I to tell her she was wrong? My heart has been very heavy ever since that day. Sometimes I just don't know what to think. I put on a different face so that you would never see the pain in my heart. I put on a different mask so that you would never know. But deep down inside, when all the masks are stripped away, I feel kind of empty.